All right, I just want to give a quick update on the strike situation for those of you that watch me only on YouTube. I encourage you to join me over yonder here, we'll call it. I'll leave a link below. You can see, I've been doing stuff, uploading videos. Not so on YouTube because there was the end of January, there was something changed in the algorithm, and I got a rapid succession of 2 strikes. Now, the first one, I don't even swear, I rarely say anything that I think is controversial anyway. And I got two strikes in very rapid succession, but the first one only counts as a warning, so this without evidence, the Guardian debunks, okay. This one I got harassment and cyberbullying. The appeal, I put in a manual review request, and it was rejected in less than 12 hours. The only reason it looks like there was some time is I opened it on another machine later and tried to send an appeal a second time. This other one, I was really surprised this one got a strike. The French protest and win against the mandatory poke, which got me medical misinformation. I submitted the appeal almost 10 days ago. Still nothing back, but I can at least post videos again. You can see views have cratered. We're down 50% in 28 days. And so YouTube is just crushing the regular creator. They're trying to get us off the platform. So I've had to set a bunch of videos to private that I know are kind of targeting what they don't want to hear. Yeah, there it is. It's been removed. And only, 132 views. The good news is you can see it on the alternative here. And, there it is. It's doing better here than it was on YouTube. French protest and win. I recommend it. It's interesting to see how the mainstream narrative is false. And the other one they took down right here with Trump giving the dog an award and Hillary hanging Epstein. Without evidence, the Guardian debunks the letterman, the letter between P and R. So the videos are still there. They're still up. They're still doing just fine. I took down or privated this one on Hillary's questionable glassware and some about Hunter Biden, those sorts of things. I guess my point is YouTube, at least for the meantime, is kind of dead. I'll still do audio narration on it, but you really can't risk anything. Oh yeah, there it is, the underage youths found on Hunter Biden's laptop from hell, if you haven't researched that. But the algorithm change is just crushing people, and so I'm not going to risk another run of 2 strikes out of the blue as best I can. It's a tactical retreat. It's fine. We knew this was coming. That's why we're working over yonder here, and it's picking up speed. It's all right. And what's funny is, okay, you've heard the first they came for Alex Jones, and I said nothing. Well, now, leftist journalist regrets calling for Silicon Valley censorship after it happens to him. Congratulations, sir, you are a useful idiot. And that's not a rhetorical term. It's a very specific word with a specific meaning. One of the reasons the right and left don't seem to be able to communicate is because the left uses words for their emotional impact. That's why they're always like, oh, you're a National Socialist. And you're like, do you know what that word means? Why are you speaking German? Whereas the right uses dialectic, where words mean things. The left just invent new meanings for words that have an emotional impact. And so we've been calling people on the left useful idiots because it's like once you help centralize power in the hands of a few, you don't win. Like you've just gotten rid of freedom. And this isn't a good thing. It is just the only way that some people will learn. And so you could see here, this guy, Jordan Chariton, every media outlet that pushed this insane election conspiracy for clicks should be taken off of the air. They've incited a mostly peaceful protest. Now, he posts later, With time to reflect and seeing Silicon Valley's censorship onslaught, I regret this tweet made in the heat of the moment. I thought there was no heat of the moment. Whether certain cable/YouTube outlets misled audiences with dishonest claims lacking real evidence, they shouldn't be targeted. All of a sudden, he's pro-free speech once he's lost his free speech. Yeah, that's the thing. Being a leftist is antithetical to freedom. Being a leftist means you want a handful, a cabal, of people to have all of the power and for them to distribute goods and services, quote, fairly. Well, you'll see that the connected and the important and those that are in positions to toe the party line get all of the goodies, and the rest of us are left to fight for scraps. This is why those big hedge fund managers that were crying on TV over the GameStop blow-up, they were like, but I support a progressive tax policy. Yeah, they support a progressive tax policy because it allows them to control what table scraps you get rather than letting you go for the whole Thanksgiving dinner. Progressive policy is just table scraps to these people. $1,000 check? Come on, man. These guys make $1,000 a minute. Just let us have a seat at the table. They don't want that. These are the controllers. So, progressive reporter Jordan Sheridan had a change of heart after YouTube took down one of his videos. Oh, you didn't get 2 strikes in less than 2 weeks? That's not what happened to you? You just had a video taken down? You know how many videos I've just had removed? Sheridan's original advocacy for censorship occurred when he called for big tech giants to target anyone who questioned 2020. Yes. Every media outlet that pushed it. Okay, we talked about that. We get it. So the funny thing is he put footage of what happened on January 6th, and so did everyone else, but he got targeted for spam and deceptive practices. Okay, is that kind of like medical misinformation for covering a riot? That's medical misinformation. Harassment and cyberbullying for looking at a Guardian article about the letter between P and R. They just make it up, right? They just make up their reasons. Sheridan noted, with the precedent having been set for blanket censorship, progressive content was also now being unfairly targeted. Oh, I thought it was a conspiracy that people on the right were being targeted. Oh no, you lied, and this is what happens now once truth no longer matters. While pointing out big left-wing networks with friendly YouTube ties like the Young Turks were not calling it out. What's funny is he thinks the Young Turks would call it out. Like, this is their state-run media. They're the voice that they want to amplify. They could say anything. Cenk Uygur used to write a blog on how to pick up teenage girls at railroad tracks, like 15-year-olds. He's sick. He's a sick person, and yet YouTube doesn't care because it's all political expediency. That's the only thing that matters. It's just like Black Lives Matter, right? It's only the politically convenient Black lives that seem to matter to the media. That's it. It's just politically convenient commentators matter. They're the only ones that get, quote, free speech. So, this is so funny to me. The few independent leftist outlets, including the very few in-the-field reporting networks like Status Quo, shame on the Young Turks and other outlets with much bigger platforms for not drawing more attention to this censorship binge. Welcome to the club. Hopefully you make the turn and become pro-freedom here, buddy. Because that's the only way. We either all get to speak or none of us get to speak. And that's not like some sort of agreement we need to have in society. That's just a law of nature. Right? It's gravity. We either all get to speak or none of us get to speak, because the controllers will then just start banning everyone. They don't want truth. You thought, well, let's just lie because the ends justify the means. Well, who have you empowered then to get rid of everyone else's free speech? Well, they have that power now, and they're going to get rid of you too, because you're not politically convenient. Even if you agree lockstep with every leftist point, they still don't have a choke chain around your neck, and so you don't get to speak. The only people that are allowed to speak with a microphone in front of them and millions of listeners are those that they can specifically control. It doesn't. You can agree with the Young Turks 100%, but the fact is you don't have to if you're an independent leftist journalist, and so you're still too dangerous. Nobody gets a microphone with a big audience in front of them unless they can control them. This is why they can't stand PewDiePie. Notice they've prevented the rise of another PewDiePie quite well. So, in subsequent interview, this journalist noted that the purge of right-wing content was merely an excuse for YouTube to get rid of all content that questioned the consensus. No, just all content. It's going to be YouTube TV. Not just that question the consensus. Just all private content. He noted that big networks like CNN carry the same footage and were not targeted by YouTube. Yeah, hypocrisy is over. There's no point calling out hypocrisy. We're well past that. This is a war over power. So, anyway, that was kind of hilarious. I'm going to limit what I put up here until sometime in May when the strike expires. And even then, I don't know how much we'll do on YouTube audio narration. So come over yonder. It's fun here. There's no commercials. All the people that you like to follow are here. You can run down rabbit holes again. It's like old school YouTube. It's almost like YouTube 2008. And a lot of times if you're producing content, you're struggling on YouTube, you get a lot better engagement as a better audience. You get better views. It's all here. And it's running better all the time. It's certainly not at that level that YouTube is. But hey, at least you don't have to speak in code to talk about the issues of the day. So that's the update for now. Hopefully I get a review here soon and this gets repealed, but I am not holding my breath. So that is it for now. Come on over and join the fun side of the internet.